Draft Pod, baby. Playoff edition. That's right. We're breaking it all down. Key matchups. We've studied these guys from the time they were little tykes. So we've got it all. We want to get into the key matchups, the greater roster implications going into this Bills game, and so much more. Recap the national semifinals, preview the Natty, talk about the latest declarations, the latest guys staying in school, what QB2 staying at Oregon means, and so much more. Starting now. DNVR Draft Pod. We're doing it, baby. Live from downtown Denver on the corner of Colfax and York, coming to you from the Xfinity studio. It is the DNVR Broncos Draft Pod in a special playoff edition for you, Jake.
Hell yeah.
I guess we had one of these last year, but it didn't feel like this.
We backed our way in last year.
That's true.
It is what it is.
It's true.
We knew.
We were already kind of thinking draft at that point already, too. I mean, there's franchises. They've been into their offseason for 2 weeks. They're deep in the carousel. We might have been previewing the Senior Bowl at this point.
We're about that time, right? It's the week between title games and Super Bowl, right?
Yes. I mean, it's 2 weekends away. Yeah. People are in Mobile for Senior Bowl practices. Not us, baby. Not us. New studio sponsorship. Same old chat. What up, guys? Thanks for being in here. And yes, a reminder, we are the DNVR Draft Podcast. We do this every week, and we have for a gazillion years. Win, lose, or draw, didn't matter. If they traded away their first rounders for Russell Wilson, we were here. If they were terrible, we were here. If they're great like they are now, we are here. Don't worry. Still all the great coverage. Hank, RK, told Dave Logan's calling in. Zach's calling in. They've got you all covered. Normal show at noon coming. This is a little appetizer for you.
There you go.
As Stanley from The Office would say. And yeah, before it, we got to kind of start with some actual Broncos talk going into this game, Jakester. And, you know, we're film guys.
Yeah.
We watch the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
So why not get into the key matchups for this here divisional round bout against the Bills? First off, how scared are you? How much does this matchup concern you?
It's not my favorite matchup that could have been possible for the playoffs, but I'm definitely not mad at it. So I feel like just where the Bills are right now, that was a very tough game for them last week. They're banged up a bit. And I think that's just, you're coming to Denver, man. I mean, I feel, honestly, overall pretty good about this weekend. But we'll see.
Yeah. Is there a matchup that you're most excited about or that you're, like, chomping at the bit to be like, I can't wait to see Cortland Sutton go against Tre'Davious White, or I can't wait to see RJ light up their teeny tiny linebackers, or Nick Benito get under those mauling offensive tackles? Like,
I mean, all that sounds great.
Yeah, it does, right?
I want to see us against
good pitch by me.
The top rusher in the NFL, though. Let's lock this guy down. Because, I mean, Yaya's showing us a video before we go live. I mean, montage of all these things people say about the Broncos and how they don't believe in them. Worst number 1 seed of all time. Go shut down the league's leading rusher. Let's make a statement early on. That's what I think.
Yeah, I mean, we can totally start there. I think the defensive line, the Orange Rush, as we have dubbed them, has their hands full, but also has an opportunity to really show people why this is the greatest front in Broncos history. They certainly are by sacks.
Yes.
And why they are a truly elite defense, worthy of a nickname and worthy of all the hype and that this regular season wasn't a mirage. You've got a super talented backfield in James Cook and Josh Allen, and you're going to have to balance that perfectly. You're going to have to be able to pin your ears back and get the pressure on Josh.
Yep.
But at the same time, you need that rush plan, right? It's a rush plan we've talked about for eons when the Broncos were playing the Seahawks and Russell Wilson was their quarterback and Vance Joseph was their head coach. We were talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For these kinds of quarterbacks, you need that contained type rush plan. Obviously, getting that pressure from the interior, forcing Josh out the pocket, and then containing him on the edges makes life that much easier. And then when they got to run the ball, the interior of the defensive line's really going to have to play up.
Yeah. I mean, you need a vintage 2025 Denver defense performance this weekend. He's banged up, but you're going to still need to contain Josh Allen, as you said. You're also going to need to plaster downfield, right? You can't let these extended plays, and especially, it always seems like it's the tight ends for some reason that are just like, for whatever reason, standing in the middle of the field after Josh scrambles around for 10 seconds and they're wide open. Plaster those guys. Make sure that you can make plays on the football downfield too in those situations. Don't just let these guys catch the ball uncontested. Like, at least be in the area so you can try and make a play. So, I mean, we've seen it against Mahomes. It's the same kind of game plan type of thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Exactly. Exactly.
And then offensively, just find some momentum. I mean, God, an early 3-and-out. We've seen it enough this year, but that would really it would just, at least for me, put me back in the, all right, here we go again type of mood. You know what I mean? But if you get a touch, I mean, the start last year, right? I mean, as the game went last year, not how anyone wanted it to go, right? And we were definitely overmatched, but like, man, that's exactly what you need. When have we seen them really take shots early this year? And I do feel like Sean is saving some stuff for this game too. So I'm nervously optimistic.
I definitely think who can take an early lead. That's not a key matchup, but it is a key to the game. Is a key to the game because who takes the early lead is really able to lean into the key matchups.
Yes.
Because then you can pin your ears back and you're less worried about James Cook. Then, or vice versa, then you can keep the Broncos defense off balance and kind of run at them or hit them with some play action or what have you. So I do think that is definitely a key. And look, the Bills offensive line, quite good. They've got some maulers on the interior, Osiris Torrance, and they've got some big bad dudes out at offensive tackle in Deion Dawkins and Spencer Brown.
Yep.
2 top 100 picks who we definitely covered through the draft process. And it's a bit of power versus finesse in that matchup of Bills O-line against Broncos D-line.
Yeah, for sure.
And everyone wants to give the edge to the power team is kind of what I'm gauging from the national media, who has overlooked the Broncos and whatever, I get it. But could that be an advantage for Denver in that, they can maul the exact kind of defensive line that they have, but when they have to deal with some of the speed and quickness that JFM and Zach Allen bring on the interior, and, Jonah Ellis and Nick Benito bring on the outside, and then the exotic blitzes that Vance is going to bring, could that actually be a Broncos advantage?
I think it can. I think that's why Talanoa Hufanga is a massive X factor in this game, right?
He's huge.
I mean, he's clearly one of their best players. I'm not breaking news here, but like he's going to have to be, I think we need 2 or 3 at least of those like instinctual plays from him of coming downhill and stopping a play before it even gets going, I think. Yeah. And the earlier that happens, I think you can set a tone too. Yeah. That, like we might be more of a quote unquote finesse team, but damn, this defense flies around and it's almost hard to even keep track of them all at the same time. So
also the freshness,
styles make fights.
The freshness from the defensive line, I think, is going to be huge. And it'll be interesting to see how much are we keeping that same regular season style rotation in the playoffs. I mean, part of that is so your guys are fresher come the postseason. And I mean, I agree with one of the comments here Zach Allen's got to eat for sure. I think that is a key matchup. Hufanga, Zach Allen, those are some of your all-pros on defense. They got to eat. They got to have big games. How about this other matchup? The Bills don't have really a go-to wide receiver.
No.
Someone who you game plan and you say, we got to lock this guy down. Does that lessen the Broncos' strengths in having Pat on the outside, Riley Moss? Or in some ways, is it going to be easier for those guys with maybe a playoff whistle as well to just lock down more replacement level type wideouts like Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman and the rest of these guys in Buffalo?
I'd hope. I mean, shoot, like, again, the tight ends, like I said, in the scramble drill, I feel like that's what you really got to worry about as opposed to the wide receivers, right? Shakir's been good. Cooks is always solid, but I would hope that, I mean, I don't even know who you want to put him on, but I'd hope that you could limit Shakir in terms of the run after catch stuff that he's shown. And I don't know if that's just you put Pat on him and you hope that every ball he catches just zero rack, right?
Yeah.
And they're able to get him on the ground, but they just match up well, I think, and it's really just Josh Allen, honestly, in my opinion. That's not surprising at all. Like,
right. They don't really have a receiver who's a big play maker. Josh Allen turns them into big playmakers because he extends the play and what have you, and this front can't allow that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, you mentioned it off the top. I mean, it's about contain. It's about stopping run plays in the backfield before they get started, you know, not letting those run plays go for 5 yards until he's touched type of thing, like wide open lanes. Creating pileups too, like Talanoa. Like, if he just destroys a pulling guard and just completely wrecks a play before it gets started, you're going to need some of that stuff too, because that they're just going to do what they do in terms of run the ball as well. So it's a styles make fights type of situation, in my opinion.
Yeah, no doubt. And honestly, you could go either way on this. Like, there are some of those key matchups where it's like, it's easy to assume, oh, Bills have this advantage, and Bills actually, because of how they're constructed, they kind of alleviate one of the Broncos' advantages. But there's like a flip side to both of those. We're going to get into a couple other keys to the game, 2 key matchups I don't think we've touched on yet on the other side. But first, a shout out to some of our friends. New Built Restoration and Construction homies over here. In on the draft pod, in on DNVR, in on your home, because they understand, you know, this stuff ain't easy. They're licensed general contractors who can help with any project, big, small. They're available 24/7. They truly care about being there for their customers. They get the stress of over this, and their 600 reviews show it. They'll work with your insurance to make sure the stressful process is as smooth as it possibly can be. And then they've got repair services offered: fire damage, water damage, mold removal, repair services, commercial projects, and their DNVR homies. So when the home emergency hits, when you need a general contractor, New Built Restoration and Construction will be there at nubilt.com, or call them at 720-903-4254. Let them know DNVR sent you. And shout out to our friends at the Colorado Soccer Association. The year of soccer is upon us. That's right. 2025 is when it's all, 2026, holy cow, is when it's all going down. World Cup at home. We've got a new team on the Denver Summit FC side of things who just signed the captain of the national team. Lindsay, welcome home. It's never been easier or better time to get in on the sport. And that's what you can do at Colorado Soccer Association, where they have 65 plus hubs across the state. They offer programs for youth players, coaches, referees, families, anyone who wants to get involved. Kids can start as early as the age of 3, whether you're planning for fun, competing at the highest level, or exploring a career in soccer. There's something for everyone. So you want to get involved? Visit coloradosoccer.org to find a club near you and be part of the future of the game. Loving some of these comments I'm seeing back in the Xfinity studio. Ulma making a great point about Bills on short rest, banged up, and they're going to be gassed by the fourth because of the altitude. Then I thought Broncos too, talking about one of the keys of the game is time of possession. And
that's a great point. He's totally right. I remember that last year.
Oh, yeah.
At the end of the first half, I was like, they got to score on the next driver. It's
100%.
over.
And I think the run game is big on Denver's end of things. Bo Nix being able to extend plays with his legs is huge. And I mean, while it's been frustrating at points in the regular season, the lack of big plays, they have the one complaint you can't have, even in this last month of the season with the offense, is that they're not like extending drives or putting together long drives, because that's the thing they have done. You'd like to see them get more touchdowns, the red zone and what have you, but they are prolonging drives, which is huge for time of possession.
I mean, that Texans game, man, where they just scored nothing but field goals pretty much earlier in the year. Like, I do not care, man, if we win 12-6, 6-3, 3-0. I really do not care.
That's the thing. I would love a game like that against an opponent like the Steelers, like the Chargers, like the Texans. I would almost feel a smidge more comfortable in. This is a game where the offense does have to come up
they gotta score
and put up some points. And could Cortland Sutton, this be, he's quietly had a really great season, but could this be like Court's game where he really just picks on Tre'Davious White and takes him to the woodshed a little bit?
I mean, I need that. I need someone to step up in that receiving core, whether it's Ingram, Franklin, Mint. I don't care. Like, I think you need two guys to really kind of make some issues and create plays out there. You've seen it in flashes for every single one of those guys. Yeah. It's just that, I mean, you kind of almost, you saw some of it last year. Like, you need a Troy over the top. You know, you need a Sutton fade on a 3rd and long or whatever, or 4th
Mims
down.
against the Bengals in 24,
exactly.
Like going off for those big plays. You could use some of that. You mentioned Ingram. I do wonder, they've got really banged up linebacker group. Shaq Thompson and Matt Milano on the injury report. They will not be 100%. And whether it's RJ as an outside runner when he gets to that second level, really making those one-on-ones count, whether it is Ingram in the passing game, whether it is, your other tight ends or, Pat Bryant as a big slot or Mims in the slot, you're going to have to exploit those linebackers some way, somehow. You have to take advantage of that.
We have Sean Payton, though.
What's that mean?
We have Sean Payton, though. He's gonna put linebackers in a blender.
Yeah,
I totally believe in it.
You have to.
And again, I think he's saving some stuff. Like some of the stuff we saw at the end of the year, the Raiders game, the last Chargers game. Like,
I even go back and wonder the Jaguars game.
Yeah,
you had the division locked up by that point.
Yeah.
You had a game in hand over the Patriots for the 1 seed. How much is Sean thinking? Like, this last month has felt a little like the Natty run for Michigan, where the last month they were throwing it 10 times a game with J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
Like, they were just saving everything for the Ohio State game.
And then the Rose Bowl happens, too, and then he went crazy. Yeah, I mean, totally. Like, he's had a lot of time. And I think it's smart to kind of use your buffer, like you said, in that Jags game. Like, you didn't necessarily need that game. They played well enough to win that game, I think, if it did matter that much. But I think they showed you that, look, we can kind of hang with these guys. Yeah, they come and beat us at home. I didn't want to see them in the playoffs, but now we don't even have to worry about that. So we're all good.
100%. Be interesting to see Bulls and McGlinchey, 2 former first-round offensive tackles, maybe more of the finesse genre, going against 2 power edges in Joey Bosa and Greg Rousseau, and how that holds up. I think maybe advantage Buffalo in defending the run, but in pass pro, I think advantage Broncos and Bo Nix and Josh Allen. We saw it the entire playoffs, whether it's Bryce Young or any of the quarterbacks, outside of maybe Herbert and Aaron Rodgers. Guys were making plays with their legs. Guys were making plays above the X's and O's.
Got to.
It's the playoffs, man. Like, they're going to have you dead to rights, and some of the best players in the world are going to just make otherworldly plays. So, Bo versus Josh, who can make a couple of those otherworldly plays? that the other one just isn't able to match, I think could easily be the difference in this one. But one of the keys to the game, I do think, is defending those two tight ends for the Bills.
Yep.
Kincaid, there was a lot of talk in Buffalo and a lot of talk draft related that they didn't invest in a first round wideout for Josh Allen, even though Keon Coleman, they literally traded out of the first round and drafted him with the first or second pick of the second round. But irregardless, they did invest a first round pick in Dalton Kincaid, and Dawson Knox is a pretty good tight end. And they've got Jackson Hawes, the Georgia Tech tight end, who's been a good contributor and a good blocker for them. How you defend those guys without Brandon Jones, with Greenlaw maybe not being 100%. Sternad, I think, could be a big factor. Do you move Pat as a big nickel for some of those? You know, do you use Jahdae Barron? How's PJ Locke factor into this? I mean, corners, safeties, wide receivers. You mentioned Hufanga being a big factor. He's a big factor in defending the tight ends as well. And linebackers, all three of those groups need to be tasked with defending the tight ends. And if you can eliminate that advantage for the Bills, I think you're really cooking.
Yep, I agree. I mean, again, it's in the scramble drill too. If you contain this guy, if you can, and also forcing turnovers, if you can force an early mistake, man, I think that'd be huge too. You get the crowd behind you at that point.
They're due, man. They're so due.
Yeah, it's that dynamic, and I think that's why, I mean, we saw it last year, right? I mean, Denver went up 7-0, and that shush over the stadium, you know, it rang through, and it gave us a glimmer of hope. At the end of the first half, though, time of possession and how they ran the ball obviously dictated things. The recipe was enacted on you last year. Just, you know what to clean up. You know that how to kind of get that crowd on your side early, and if you can get a turnover, big play early, we're cooking.
Hell yeah. I think that covers it, Jake.
Let's do it.
This combo makes me nervous, excited. I can't believe we're here. I just got to try and enjoy it.
I'm going to try and, unfortunately, I do have to work tomorrow, but I would love to slip into a coma until game time.
I know. I, too, have too many responsibilities to do that. But if you like Jake and I's stuff, stay tuned after the post game. We might have a little bonus content for you if the moment calls for it. Also, love seeing everyone in the Toyota chat. Please leave us a thumbs up. Tell your friends. Share the links. It means the world to us. Again, we've been doing this for a gazillion years. We are not fair weather podcasters. We've been here all along, baby. So support the homies. We appreciate it. Yes, Hydromo. Thank you. That is the Ball Knowers pod.
Shout out chat, man.
We switched gears a little bit to talk about some of the latest draft news, Jakester.
Let's do it.
The biggest one is just yesterday. Dante Moore, the Oregon quarterback, the highly touted recruit who signs for UCLA, goes to Oregon, sits for a year behind Dylan Gabriel, and then has this great season with Oregon, though 2 losses against Indiana looming large against them. And he decides to go back to school, which probably the right decision.
After the last game I saw from him,
yeah,
he absolutely has to go back to school.
Well, also after how all these one and done QBs have performed, you know, the Mitch Trubisky's, Ty Simpson's another one, Mac Jones is one, and Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson.
Are you talking about the Rich?
Is another great example.
Samini quote. Did you see this?
I think I did.
So
give it to us.
He said on Dante Moore, he's only 20 years old. He's only got 18 starts. If you look at the most recent first-round quarterbacks with fewer than 20 starts, it's not a promising field. Some names: Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, Mitch Trubisky, Ryan Tannehill, and Cam Newton. Of course, clearly Cam Newton is very an extreme outlier.
Cam also has JUCO.
Of course, yes.
Which isn't factored into that, but I do think matters. And I mean, Richardson is the ultimate case of this.
Totally.
And you have a guy in Ty Simpson, who did declare. And I mean, gosh, we've been talking about the Bill Parcells rules for quarterbacks for a while. And that was one of the biggest positive marks on Bo Nix's belt as a prospect was he certainly fit the Parcells rules, as did Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
As did Caleb Williams.
Mm-hmm.
One guy who didn't was Drake May, who was a couple games short of that. Though he started more than 20. He had 2 years as a starter.
Yeah.
But still, I think, here, I'll go, we'll look that old sheet up with the Parcells rules later.
I'll get it.
But yeah, Dante Moore, I think it's a good call, but this does change the draft significantly. And aren't we glad to not be the New York Jets, as the homie Jose says in the chat here, because this is very much a slight to them.
Raiders too, honestly. I mean, at least they got the first overall pick. They got some hope, but this draft class, and we can get into this overall at some point too. This draft class is terrible, though.
They've got some hope. It almost sounded like you said they've got some hopes.
They might have that.
Yeah.
I like Mendoza though. I think that. You asked
we
the
talked
question
about
a couple
it
weeks ago.
We talked about it, and I thought it was a great answer. Parcells' rules is 30 career starts. Drake May had 26, and JJ McCarthy had 29. Bo had 61. He doubled it. Doubled the Parcells rules. So Dante Moore staying in school. Mateo Ugalele, their edge rusher, staying in school. And Amari Washington, maybe the top defensive tackle prospect in this draft class, staying in school. But Monroe Freeling, the offensive tackle for Georgia, who some are mocking in the range of the Broncos pick. He's so big. He's one of the pure left tackles in this class. I don't think he lasts that long. But who knows? Maybe him declaring means a guy like Caden Proctor does drop to the Broncos. Or maybe one of the Utah kids, Fano or Lomu, can drop. Definitely doesn't feel like Francis Mayuaga will drop. That boy has really done wonders for his stock. A favorite of ours, Harold Perkins Jr.
A classic.
The Sam linebacker, a guy we have literally talked about for 3 years now, is declaring Broncos potential pick. Now, one of the best edge rushers in the class, undersized even as an inside linebacker, frankly. He's in that like 230 range. I mean, there's safeties that big. And he's played as more of an off-ball linebacker for LSU the last couple years and did better this year. He's very athletic. He's got the sideline-to-sideline speed. I think he's got the athleticism to drop in coverage. But, is he a hybrid player? I don't know. He's a typical Sam linebacker in a 4-3 front, which is where, like, Khalil Mack, when he was first drafted, that's where he played. Von Miller, when he was first drafted, in that John Fox 4-3 defense, that's where he was playing before Jack Del Rio came in as the DC, and it became more of a 3-4, and then he was a pure outside linebacker edge.
Yeah.
Perkins is different, though. He's way smaller than those guys.
Yeah. I mean, the size is, I don't know, it's kind of telling. And it's a size league. We've talked about this a lot recently.
Which also, by the way, does scare me in that O-line matchup against the Bills. We talk about that a lot. It's a size league, and size really matters in December and January.
It does. I mean, if you can just run the ball 4+ yards a carry in January, that's what the winning teams do. And make some plays in the quarterback game, and that's usually what it all comes down to, right? So Harold Perkins is just an interesting one, though. He is not loved on the consensus board. He's very much you have to kind of see it with him, I think, and really try and believe. Obviously, I think Vance could see that. He's taken so many of these kind of project guys on defense, which does kind of scare me.
Yeah.
But he's been productive, Perkins. So you're calling him an edge in the NFL? You're calling him off ball?
I think he's off ball.
I'd rather go for the bigger guys then.
Yeah, I think that's right. Give us your thoughts. We're going to keep talking about this because our favorite target for the Broncos did declare, and so much more. We've got all this college football playoff stuff to get into, but first, a shout out to our friends. Bet365. Dude, what homies. Look at this offer that came on my phone today. One passing yard is now plus 100 in Bills at Broncos. That's right. All you need is one passing yard, and you can cash in at even money right there. What a time to be alive. Get all your Broncos-Bills bets in. We're working on a custom bet that you'll find only at Bet365, the only place you can use our code DNVR365 to get their awesome playoff sign-up offer. $5 minimum. Bet $200 in bonus bets as soon as that bet is settled, win, lose, or draw. So then you can use that on futures, draft props, Nuggets bets, Natty bets, the whole shebang, only when you use our code DNVR365. They've got all the boosts. They've got all the offers. They've got all the protections, and they're official partners of DNVR, Avs, and Nuggets. And don't miss up on that sign-up offer. All you need is code DNVR at sign-up, $10 minimum deposit, $5 minimum bet, and bang, $200 in bonus bets. And once those bonus bets cash in, that's real money, buddy. That's real money. That's right. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. TNCs apply. And boy, what a time to be alive. Not only Broncos tailgates, because we've got home games across the board for this playoff run, but you also have some fire on the mountain at those tailgates. Fire on the mountain. What a win for us when we got them as a new partner. I'd heard nothing but amazing things about their incredible food, their incredible wings. And when I finally got to try it, once this partnership started, I was like, whoa, how have I waited this long? They're Denver's favorite local wing. You just got to check them out. They feature hormone-free, antibiotics-free, cage-free wings. They've got 15 super flavorful, made-from-scratch sauces from mild to insanely hot, everything in between. $5 beers on Mondays and happy hour and all day Tuesdays. Whew. I might have to go there for the Natty, Jake. So grab a $5 pints on Mondays, all day happy hour on Tuesdays, and they now offer delivery from their Wash Park store. Visit their spots in the Highlands and Wash Park as well. Fire on the mountain. If you haven't already, get in and you will thank me later. Bang, bang. Bang, bang, indeed. Okay. Kenyon Sadiq does declare not an Oregon guy going back to school.
Nope.
Just hope he doesn't go to the Chiefs at this point.
That's pretty much the hope, right?
Yeah. A consensus tight end one in the class by a mile.
How high does he go now? Because I see people, I mean, you know how it is. Everyone's a draft expert on the timeline.
Of course.
But every team is throwing, I can't wait till we draft him at 26 overall. It's like, what are you talking about?
That pisses you off, too. It pisses me off. He's a top 15 lock.
He's like top 10, bro.
Yeah. Maybe not lock, though.
He's going to test outrageously.
Yeah.
They're going to look at what he looks like in a football uniform and then his production and the catches he made this year, and there's not 10 better players than him.
Will they overthink the size, though? I mean, once you watch him blocking, you shouldn't, because this is not a Brock Bowers type. But I do wonder about how the size factors in. Which,
so
again, I could
6'3",
not
245. I don't care.
It's a teensy bit undersized, though, right?
Slightly, I guess. I mean, how old is he? He's 20 years old. I'm not worried
literally
at all.
You know who I compare him a lot to a better blocking Trey McBride, who also had some undersized questions.
And also made some ridiculous catches his last year in college.
Yeah, and I mean, has broken tight end records early in his career. Honestly, wasn't high enough on him, and I think we were higher than the consensus on that one. So,
facts.
Yeah, that's another one, and another Oregon kid who does declare is Emmanuel Pregnon, the left guard for Oregon. He is a mauler.
Holy cow.
Bad boy.
Just a professional people mover.
Yes. Chat, how would we feel about drafting a left guard? Like a more, just as much of an ass kicker as Ben Powers, but more athletic. And then you have Quinn and this monster as your 2 guards for like 10 years.
Sounds great to me.
Doesn't sound terrible, right?
Yeah.
It's a tone-setting move. And if
is.
you get beat up a little against the Bills, win or lose, chat might be in on it a little more. And then shout out to Jose, who mentioned it already, but Sonny Styles, the linebacker for Bama, does declare. And he's also seen as a top 12 pick, and we kind of talked about that the last couple episodes. Like, he has firmly played his way out of the Broncos range.
What a year to try and pick last, though, honestly. You're not going to have to really worry about, is this guy really a first rounder 100%. Type? Like, 100%. Just take the guys you like this year, especially,
yes.
Man, if you can make it to the conference title games and you're picking 29th or higher, you're doing just fine when it comes to this draft. So
true. And there's going to be some fun guys at the end of the first, early second in that range.
Yeah.
And, some fun guys who might drop, like Proctor, like Jermod McCoy, the Tennessee cornerback, if the medicals were sketching some people out. Like, there could be top 10 talents coming into the season who just drop for whatever reason. Then it's like, whatever, just take a blue chip or win a blue chip. We can do the Ravens thing now.
Absolutely. It's absolutely the case.
Be glorious. I would love that so much. Also, man, I've been thinking wide receivers so much. I know.
How nice would it be to have, they were a pick away, but if you had a Buka on this team, how much better would you feel, man?
Size guy, replicate Cortland Sutton. Speed guy, who in some ways you don't have, like an upgrade on Mims and Franklin, or more classic slot route runner.
I've been saying route runner. I think
You're kind of a route. You're a route runner loyalist.
I am. That's separation.
A good take to have.
I'm not gonna be mad if we draft a big guy though.
I know.
Either at this point.
Makai Lemon clips will come across my timeline, and I'm like, oh my God, he'd be perfect. He's also a kick returner. Chris Bell, though, I cannot get that Miami game out of my head. That was so insane. He's a 220-pound wide receiver who runs like that. Sign me up. And then, Zachariah Branch would be amazing. Casey Concepcion would be amazing. It's fun wide receiver. Jacoby Lane, one of my bays from USC. He's going to be at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah. The Indiana guys.
Yes, the Indiana guys.
Bernard, there's a lot of guys I like in this draft.
Yeah, Bama's Jermaine Bernard. He'd be nice. Jeremy. Well, you can't have a name like Jeremy and expect me not to screw it up. Like, it's automatic. I'm going to mess that up.
I kind of like it, though.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. Okay. Let's recap these national semis and get into this Natty.
We gotta move the schedule. This is crazy.
It's so late.
It's ridiculous.
It's so late. It's really ticking you off.
It's just the whole thing makes zero sense. That the off season is just so long. We're moving the portal all to now. Like, spring football is the only thing basically for the rest of the year. Like, can we just try and space some stuff out and like move the schedule a bit back so we can just help us all out in terms of the timeline of everything? Football starts earlier. We can get these stupid FCS versus FBS games out of the year earlier.
Whoa.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's a bit nuts. We shouldn't have this much to cover on a mid-January podcast.
And we usually don't, but college football just moves the calendar around however they feel like, and this is what they landed on for this year.
We haven't even hit on Haley Seinfeld being a Broncos fan.
Goat.
Also, who is... I know she's dating Josh Allen. What does she do?
Don't ask me.
She's an actress. What may I have seen her in? Avengers. I've never seen Avengers.
Okay, confession, not a superhero movie guy.
Yeah, they hit when I was a little older. So like the Batman,
like the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then
who's the director of those? Norton?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan's
the
a
Christopher Nolan that was right in my wheelhouse. I was in college or just after college when the Avengers have us like grinding film by then.
Of course, like the early Spider-Man movies were lit, right?
Right.
Tobey Maguire?
Yeah, it was fine.
Nah,
I was like, I didn't buy Toby as a superhero.
He's the real Spider-Man, by the way.
Haley's sick starter jacket. I do get that. I may have the same one, though it fits me a little better than that. Any relation to Jerry Seinfeld? Is this a Hollywood Nepo baby?
Steinfeld.
So you're saying that's a no?
I'm going to say that's a no.
Okay. I'm glad that was our Haley Steinfeld minute there for you all.
Shout out Haley.
She might be a draft pod listener.
She might be. She's a diehard. Look, that's after the Super Bowl.
I mean, February 7th, 2016. That's right around when AJ and I started, grinding Garrett Bowles tape.
Yeah.
And getting ready for that first draft pod year we were doing on our net. She might have been grinding a draft pod. She might be in the chat. She might be high drama.
I mean, who's to say that they didn't win because she wasn't there or was there? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if maybe she's the secret luck that we need for the Super Bowl run. Now she's back on board. She's going to be obviously there for the game. Oh my goodness, Dre.
Right. It's incredible.
And she's playing double agent.
I love that.
God bless you, Haley.
We've infiltrated Josh Allen. Yeah, keep him up the night before the game, like call him about some Hollywood drama or whatever. Yeah, see, high drama, not gonna say one way or the other, but a drama ball knower, that might be Haley.
Royce is saying she's pregnant.
Yeah, right.
You got to send Josh on an errand at like 3 a.m.
Right. I mean, George Payton's in the chat. He was commenting last week that you can never draft enough guys in the secondary. So we know that's George.
Yep.
And I think Haley, also a Draft Pod listener. What do you guys think of the new studio, guys? We appreciate the support. We couldn't have done it without you. Leave us a thumbs up. Share with your Hollywood friends and your front office savants, George and Haley.
George.
Rank them. Most famous Draft Pod commenters. Haley Seinfeld, George Payton, Jose.
I mean,
we're going to keep the bit going.
Jose the GOAT.
Yeah, Jose S tier. George and Haley A tier.
Well,
one
Haley,
A, one B.
No. Haley's above George.
Dang.
No, listen.
George, you've been put on notice. No. We need to
George.
up the game. You give us a couple legendary classes, then you could maybe surpass Haley on the rankings.
George, we know that you know what you're doing, and that you just come to this show just to confirm your priors,
right,
or just to get that little added insight. Like,
exactly.
He doesn't need us as much as Haley, and I mean, Jose's just a GOAT. Shout out to Jose for just rocking along. Totally. I mean, he's separate tier, but Haley's like a true fan. George is not a fan.
I'd love to hear from Haley, aka Hydramo or Turd Curry. Who do you guys want the Broncos to draft at the end of round one? Let us know.
Sucks for him.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Comedian Mo Brown. Sometimes it's too much ball knowledge. Sometimes it's not enough.
You only get 5+ hours of these Broncos shows a week.
That's tough. Really, with no lie zone, X's and O's, draft pod, and then pre-watch along and post. That's at least 10 hours of Broncos content a week. So there you go. But yeah, we'll get to it.
Okay, we can talk about the games.
Yeah. National semifinal. Miami does it again. Mm-hmm. You're convinced Trinidad Chambliss is able in the Mississippi courts to get a 6th year.
I mean, look, man,
this might be the year to declare for him. He should go ahead of Ty Simpson.
So he's already at 52 on the consensus draft board, which I think is even a bit higher than I saw yesterday. So
we were calling him QB1 a couple weeks ago.
Why not? I mean,
Mendoza's done enough
of course,
to where maybe I am more comfortable with Mendoza as QB1.
Sure, but he's got to be a first-round pick in terms of how I think.
And QB2.
Yes. I mean,
which probably means a top 8 pick.
I think that he's shown enough in terms of the playmaking. He's played tons of football. It's just D2. At what point do we kind of amend the Bill Parcells rules, especially in the transfer portal era, and just say if you played at any level 25 plus games?
Spoiler alert, we amended it last year with Shador.
Facts, actually. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyways, he runs the ball. Go check his rushing stats from at Ferris State. He scored like 25 touchdowns in a year running the ball.
I mean, you saw that athleticism in these playoffs. The way he escapes from defenders is different.
And he's just got natural touch, accuracy, timing. I could see maybe being hesitant to start him right away for sure, but I think that he's just as talented as any quarterback in the draft, if not more so this year.
Yeah. Mark Fletcher goes off again for Miami. Carson Beck up in his stock. He's really done wonders for his stock. Messidor, Ruben Bain slowed down a little bit. I mean, it speaks to Chambliss's escapability that they only got 1 sack and 1 TFL in that game.
Yeah, but they committed so hard to just double teaming Ruben Bain. They were determined to make sure he wasn't going to make an impact, and he still did. I think. I mean, when you ask your team to use that many guys to block one player, you are. But
yeah, and I thought Messidor, a guy who we've talked about as a pretty nice JFM replacement, and how that could be more of a priority after free agent going into the draft.
We need to talk about Keelan Marion more too.
Please.
He was the guy who went off for them in the passing game. He's just been a dynamic player for a while. He was at BYU before. He was a monster kick returner in 2024 last year. He had some massive returns that really resulted in them winning games. But he's someone that I think you need to keep an eye on. I know he got a bag out of the portal last year. Colorado was in on him. He ends up going to Miami. What a great choice that was, clearly.
Yeah.
But he's just someone who I think is, he's got that lightning quickness, and there's just not many players that are that quick in the sport. So.
2 kick returns for a touchdown at BYU last season. He has 34 career carries and 5 rushing touchdowns in his college career. So he's that kind of guy. We were kind of talking about the hybrid guys a lot in last year's draft of who can be that Deebo Samuel type and take a carry out the backfield, but also be an X-factor wide receiver. I like that call out of Keelan Marion, because he did go off. Malachi Toney too, like for a freshman.
He's special.
He's incredible.
Keontae Scott stood out to me too. He was making plays in the back.
Yeah, Keontae Scott's a great. I mean, again, George Payton's gonna have a hard time not wanting Keontae Scott, a versatile DB like that who plays so well close to the line and plays well in coverage too. And then, the Hoosiers just went off, man. They absolutely stomped Oregon in that game. And that defense has been so impressive. I mean, we haven't talked about him as much, but could Mikal Kamara, who's only had 2 sacks this season, but had 10 sacks last season and 7.5 the year prior at JMU as a 265-pound edge rusher, be another JFM replacement type? Because he keeps standing out to me. D'Angelo Pons, if Keon Scott stood out, Pons has been really impressive, as is Amari Farrell. Pons more of a classic nickel DB. He's very undersized.
Yes.
Farrell more of that versatile DB in the Keon Scott mold. Mendoza's really impressed me these playoffs. Like, really impressed me. 5 tuds, 17 of 20. And then Elijah Surratt has another nice game with 7 receptions, 2 touchdowns. He's awesome and feels like a definite.
Our guy had a play too, Nowakowski.
Yeah. Nowakowski had a nice game, making the most of his 2 receptions as well. Quieter from Omar Cooper Jr., though he does have a tud. Surratt Cooper, who are you leaning towards?
For the Broncos or just overall?
For the Broncos.
Cooper.
I might be more on Surratt.
We already have Surratt.
Yeah. He's very Pat Bryant-y.
Yeah.
Very Pat Bryant-y. No doubt about that. Surratt has 44 career receiving touchdowns. 15 this year. 6'2", 209. And like a nice route runner.
Yeah.
Uses his body well. While Cooper plays bigger but is smaller at 6'2", 201. He also has 13 touchdowns this season. Nuts.
If we're going to add another wide receiver, it needs to be someone with a plus trait.
Yeah, I would agree. Let's neglect the, what is that? Master of none? Jack of all trades, master of none. Let's go with a guy who's a specialist.
Look, we have a good baseline receiving core. Like,
I would agree.
I'm
and a young one at that.
Yes, and I can complain about them as much as I want, but they are very complementary to each other. Each one has a skill set. Each one has a role. It's just, to me, it's the top end talent. That's all it really is. Shout out to Court. I mean, he's done great. I think he's clearly Bo's favorite target.
Yep.
He needs help too. I think it'd benefit him and behoove him to have someone lining up across the field who's just gonna either draw the top corner or is able to burn the defense and catch the ball downfield so that you can have some big plays.
Yeah. Do they have a true slot would be my only counter to that. Because I agree with everything you've said, aside from maybe they are missing a weapon in the slot. And maybe in Sean's offense, that should be your tight end.
Sure. I mean, yes, I think that's fair too. He's talked so much about Joker, right? Like,
yeah,
Ingram's got to live up to the contract at some point. And if he doesn't, then, well, that's going to end up how it could end up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, whatever at this point. A tight end presence would, I think, be also something that I'd be interested in too. I don't know if it's something I'd take, unless it's Kenyon Sadiq, like we've talked about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you need to go crazy in free agency or anything. But
Max Clare, Ohio State tight end, to be clear.
Ingram's just got to play better too, man.
Yeah.
He's got to play better. He's got to be more impactful. And then I feel like slots are kind of easier to find as well.
Yeah, for sure. But a high-end slot, a Casey Concepcion, Zachariah Branch, maybe more the Mims type slot, like not a true slot.
I don't know. Maybe I've just watched too much of these guys over the years.
Lemon.
Like, I don't know. There's some guys later, like the TCU guys. Why is Eric McAllister 196 on the consensus draft board? He is a freak. I don't know. There's just other guys. I mean, Ohio State's Brandon Innes, if he decides to come out, I don't know if he did or not. Chase Roberts is a good player, I think, as well, too.
Chase Roberts, I love.
J. Michael Sturdivant out of Florida is someone I've liked. Kevin Coleman from Mizzou is someone I've liked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I just think that there's options. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like Jose's saying, do they want a true slot? Because one's been missing since Welker, but it's entirely possible they don't.
Exactly.
I just know the Bandy man, the few times they've given him the ball, good things have happened, maybe. Maybe with Bo, a true slot wouldn't be bad. Evan Stewart, Oregon.
He went back.
He did.
Yeah.
Craziness.
Because he got hurt this year.
Probably makes sense.
Yeah.
But he would have been nice value.
But to that point, though, I mean, that's where a lot of those guys come from, right? They're later round guys. They're kind of dime a dozen. So.
Well, and the same with like receiving tight ends. Guys who are kind of more niche, you can find later on. Guys who check off all the boxes and have a plus trait. And I did see the comment on Chris Brazel II, huge, lightning fast, would be interesting with the Broncos. Yeah. But those are, I'm also with you on that. Scares me a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But those are guys that could be found later on. Let's preview this, Natty, and get out of here. Miami at Indiana. And I cannot believe this, but the Hoosiers are 8.5-point favorites.
Oh, my God.
Over-under set at 47.5. Can Miami keep this going, or is Indiana such a wagon that they win this easily by double digits, and it's just more boa constrictor analogy.
Mm-hmm. I think Miami can do it. I think that
Straight up upset.
Yes. Yes. And I love Kurt Cignetti. I love what he's done in Indiana. I'm not a non-believer or anything. Like, I've been on board for a few months at this point. Like, he is legit. But I just think that what Miami has can work against them. You got a veteran quarterback who's really playing up to the moment recently. He's not making mistakes, too. That's the key. If Carson Beck just doesn't make mistakes, I think absolutely Miami can have a chance.
Yep.
Fletcher's running really well. They have one of the best offensive lines in the country, one of the best offensive tackles in the country. Obviously, the edge rushers, defensive playmakers. Like, I think they can do stuff to kind of affect Mendoza, get him off his spot a bit.
That D-line is the great equalizer.
And force some turnovers, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just think that Miami's built really well, and I think that if they just stick to their game, and if Fletcher does give you 120 plus on the ground again, and they don't have a Carson Beck 3-turnover game, that absolutely, why couldn't they win that game?
I think the biggest advantage for Indiana is those wide receivers and kind of being able to pick on those DBs out wide. Otherwise, I'm kind of with you. I think that defensive line is the great equalizer for Miami. You've got a veteran quarterback. You've got a pretty good O-line. You've got speed at wide receiver that can turn normal catches into big plays. And you've got a back that is feeling it right now in Mark Fletcher. Also, I wonder if he declares.
He's been awesome, too.
He's
I don't know.
One of the players he's a junior from what I can tell.
Oh, yeah, only 416 carries? Absolutely, sign me up.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I think Indiana wins it, but I think it's closer than the bookmakers are making it, and 8.5 is kind of crazy. I think this is more of a 3-point game.
So we're on the same side. Last game of the year.
But you're on Miami straight up, plus 280. Which I do think is pretty nice.
I mean, I'd sprinkle. It's not like my pick, though.
Yeah. No, I think we agree. We agreed last round, and it was the rare time that our consensus picks were check and check, and we hit on both. But at the same time, I don't know. Indiana's been that good. And their O-line's been pretty damn good.
They've been running the ball like crazy, man.
They've played it well. And Mendoza's just he is also feeling it and playing really well. But this is going to be the ultimate test for guys like Pat Coogan, the center for Indiana, who's been incredible. Carter Smith, their left tackle. Pons and how he matches up with Tony and Moore. It's going to be huge. Yeah, Kamara, what can he do against Mayuaga? Can they generate pressure against a better O-line? And does this play out more like the Ohio State matchup? Low scoring, closer.
Yeah.
I mean, the way we're talking, it's a definite unders game. 47.5 is way too many. So, yeah, okay.
I mean, okay, official pick is Miami covers, Indiana wins. So.
Miami covers, Indiana wins. The game is Monday night, so playoff Saturday, playoff Sunday, and then Monday night Natty. And then, man, it's just 3 football games left for the NFL, and that's it. It comes and it goes so fast.
Yeah, it's unfair.
It's nuts. Luckily for us, this draft pod will stay every single week. Tune in next Thursday. We do have an early super chat from Melvin. Thank you, Melvin. We appreciate it. Will the coaches' interviews affect their focus? That's where I trust Sean Payton. Sean Payton at the helm. I don't think so, buddy. He's not going to let the John Fox travesty of Gase and Del Rio getting interviews happen again. They will be locked in. You'll have those guys working maniacally and having had 2 weeks to prepare for this matchup. Even though you didn't know your matchup, you could scout, it's going to be one of these 3 teams or 4 teams. And having matched up with them against them last playoffs, I think they'll be ready. He knows Sean McDermott well. And no, I expect all the coaches to be locked in and be prepared. And maybe we're saving some stuff just for this one.
I think so.
So that's my take, Melvin. Okay. Best of luck. Mile high salute to you all. See you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Leave us a thumbs up on the way out. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.